I'm Vinnie Tortorich. Folks, your good intentions have been stolen, but don't worry. I'm here to help you get them back. You may be soft and succulent at the beginning of this process, but hang in there. Before long, you will be lean and mean, guaranteed. Just like the woman on the other mic, I'm talking about the beautiful Miss Anna Vocino. Yeah.
What? Me?
Yeah. Go on.
Hey, Vinny, what were you doing in LA?
It's funny you should ask. I was visiting two people about my age. Not both of them. Well, one of them is a little younger. Adam Carolla is a little younger. Right? I was out there visiting him and did his show. And then I meandered over to Santa Monica and saw one Mr. Mike Rowe and Mr. Chuck Klausmeyer.
Okay.
And I got to tell you, I feel, look, this was my third time with Mike Rowe.
Yeah.
I if I sound like I'm bragging,
You are.
I think I am. Because here's why.
You've earned it.
My understanding is that I'm one of two guests that's been on more than twice. Most guests have only been on once. Other than his mom, who's been on several times, there's only been two guests, and I'm one of the two.
Who's the other one?
Her name is Zito. She's a reporter who drives around her car. Actually, she's a very interesting woman. If we can look her up, I can't think of her first name right now, but I want to say like Marianne Zito or something like that, something Zito. But I really, look, my first two shows, first it was, like during COVID time, so nobody went to anyone's studios. So I did the Roby, that's when we had the Roby 1.0s.
Right.
So no, they didn't call them Roby 1.0s. They just called themselves Rowebies. And there were thousands of them that came on to start listening to my show. And we figured out from that show that these people lost millions of pounds.
Millions of pounds.
I'm not exaggerating the millions part because Mike has a giant show.
Yeah, his platform's huge.
Yeah, so
the Rowebies that came over, you did the math. We added it up.
Million. It was like, and those were the ones we knew about, right? We did a simple math of the ones we knew about. So then
it was a conservative estimate.
When Mike learned that the term Roby became a thing because these people started calling themselves Rowebies,
right?
Mike called me and said, and only Mike Rowe can come up with this. He goes, how are they spelling that? And I said, I don't know. Sometimes it's an IE, sometimes it's a Y. They call themselves Rowebies, right? And so they had me on a second time to talk about the Rowebies.
Yeah.
Right? So those people started calling themselves Rowebies 2.0.
For the second wave.
The second wave. Well,
there's about to be a big wave.
Big wave. This is number 3.
Yeah.
And this time I was in the studio. The first two shows I did it through like StreamYard or some kind of thing. And this time I was in the studio. And my feeling was, I'm a one-trick pony. Let's be honest. Mike Rowe is not a one-trick pony. That guy can talk to a wall and make the wall seem like the most interesting thing in the world.
For sure.
Right? So I'm like, okay, I'm just north of a wall, so he can make me seem interesting. I figured, usually he keeps me an hour and 15, hour and 20 minutes. We had one of our longest interviews ever, right?
Yeah.
It went forever. And that interview is coming out tomorrow. So everyone's, going to go back and listen to this show.
I hope so. Welcome.
Welcome, Roby 3.0s.
Yeah.
And probably the 2.0s who kind of lost track of me and the original Rowebies. Welcome all of you.
Yeah.
And here's the deal. I have the VIP group, Anna.
That's right. And everybody needs to sign up for it. Are you opening it back up?
It's open. It's open right now, even though the show is coming out tomorrow. And even if you're not a Roby, you can slip in, right? It's, I think it is VinnieTortorich.com/Roby. Wait, Mike, no, I said that wrong.
VinnieTortorich.com/Rowe.
Well, it's so funny while I'm recording this, I just got a text from one Mr. Chuck Klausmeyer, who I'm enjoying Chuck and I are like really becoming buddies, I think. I hate to say that out loud on the air, but Chuck
Is
and I,
Chuck your new friend?
yeah, we talk, because I don't
Donnie
collect.
Cott's gonna get jealous.
Wait, what did you say?
The billionaire Don Coddington.
It's the billionaire Don Coddington's Friday, 5 o'clock.
If you're a Roby, you won't know what that means yet, but you'll hear it again and again.
You'll figure it out. He's
Okay,
a really rich guy.
it's funny. I picked up my thing to figure it out, and Chuck just wrote to me. Yes.
Surprise, we're not airing it. I'm just kidding.
All right, so it's VinnieTortorich.com/Rowe. And Rowe is
ROWE.
ROWE.
Great.
VinnieTortorich.com/Rowe.
And everybody who wants to sign up for the VIP, we explain what the VIP group is?
Okay. What we
Because if
figured
people
out.
are new and they want to like really go full
Right.
NSNG, I strongly recommend you jump in there.
All right, so I'm going to tell everyone what the VIP is. The VIP is something that I thought would never work in a million years. Like if you were,
Why would you think that?
Well,
Everyone's
Anna,
been telling you to do it.
I know. Listen, Anna, as you know, I'm not a gambling man. I don't gamble.
Yes.
But I would have bet on this. I would have bet $1 that there's no way, folks. I'm kind of cheap. I don't have a lot of money, and I'm cheap. I would have
whole
bet
dollar?
$1.
Yeah.
That's right. A Washington. I would have bet that there's no way in hell that the VIP group would have worked. Now, what is the VIP group? Anna, you want to explain it, or you want me to explain it?
I would love to explain it.
Please.
It's accountability.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the deal. Because the history with Vinnie and myself is, or I should say the history with Vinnie and me, is the fact that we've been doing this for a really long time. Vinnie's background is the trainer. He's the, exercise physiologist. He's the expert. I got food under my belt. And we've been podcasting.
You left out nutritionist, but go on.
Oh, Vinnie's also a nutritionist. That's hence the whole NSNG thing. But when people are new to it, they need support. And even if you're not new to it, generally we have so many messed up mindset things about diet mentality, and NSNG is not a diet. You're basically shifting your whole way of thinking to change your life in the most impactful, positive way. And sitting in on these calls that he does where people ask questions. I pop in from time to time, do cooking demos with people. He has special guests from time to time, but the meat of it is Vinnie holding these. Is it monthly or bi-monthly?
Oh, no, it's twice a month. Bi-month.
Twice a month.
Yeah. So here's how it works. You sign up for this, and it's like $20 or $24 a month.
See, that's the thing right there.
That's the crazy
super
part.
affordable.
Yeah, everyone. So here's how it works. I do these consults where people can sign up for a consult, but the consults for a half an hour, it's north of $100, like $110, $15. And then for an hour, it's like $195.
Right.
And to have one-on-one time with someone like myself who can like really mail it in for you, that's a great thing. The problem is it's not very affordable to everyone, right? But people have saved up for these consults, and everyone loves the consults, and I will never stop doing the consultations. But some people would say to me, hey, man, I got kids, I got this and that, kids are in school and whatever. I can't afford to put out that kind of money. So, and I shouldn't mention this on the air because I still do it. I will randomly pick people from time to time and do free consults. Anna's known this for years. I'm saying it out loud for the first time. But if you here's the one way to never get a free consult.
Is to ask for one.
And you won't get it. I pull people random when I see someone who's struggling, and everyone I've ever pulled randomly, I don't know if they have money or don't have money or whatever. I want to talk to that person because me helping them helps me understand how people work.
Right.
So it's a win-win. I'm winning, they're winning. Right?
Right.
But wait, there's more. Most people, can't afford these consults. So it's like the biggest part of a consult is accountability. So what if I set up an accountability group and it's called Vinnie Tortorich vinnietortorich.com/VIP. But right now is vinnietortorich.com/row if you want to get in. It's $24 a month. So if you think about what you spend on Starbucks per day, on the average, I think the average Starbucks stop costs people $6-7. And if you do that 5 days a week, you're spending better part of $30 a week. If you do that every month, you're spending, $120 a month on Starbucks. We're asking you to spend $24 a month and get healthy.
Yeah.
And what you get for this is
a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer.
the PDF comes to you free.
Right.
And we have a support group. Everyone is in there talking and supporting each other all the time. I think that's worth more than anything else. Just the support.
That's right, because you have a community where you can go and post questions, and there's people who are very knowledgeable who help answer the questions.
I put videos in there.
Yep.
Little exercise tidbit videos that, where I'm exercising and you can exercise along with me. We do all these different things.
That's great.
We're always adding content, right, to the group. And once you're in, you don't pay for anything. You're in.
Right. It's not like additional content you have to pay for.
Correct. But here's the beauty of it. Twice a month, I come in and now listen, sometimes like I'm traveling this at the end of September, right? So I'll be doing one right before I leave around the 15th. And then the other one's going to be like on the 4th or 5th of October because I have to go to a family event in Europe. By the way, folks, if you're new to the show, my wife is from England. So whenever there's a death or a wedding, we have to spend a lot of money to get to it. But you get these accountability groups. Now, what we do is I come on, I promise an hour, but I don't think any of them has gone any shorter than an hour and 30 minutes, 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Because whoever wants to come on and talk, whether it's a success story or I can't figure out how to lose weight story.
Yeah, someone's plateauing or they want to tweak on something or they're training for a new thing.
I'm almost there.
The gamut.
Make it, just whatever. Sometimes Anna comes in. And people love when Anna comes in and talks to the group.
Do simple stuff like, hey, I'm going to teach y'all how to roast a chicken. I'm going to teach you how to make meatballs. I'm going to teach you how to do a steak.
So it's always a learning thing, right? And, I found out that people love that when people come on and tell success stories, that becomes such an inspiration that if you're wavering and you're starting to mess up, it really helps you, right? It moves you ahead. So it's a really great group, and we do it twice a month. So you might want to go sign up, vinnietortorich.com/row. We'll say it at the end of the show, everywhere else. It's really kind of worth it. Now, we don't leave this open for very long.
No.
We open it for a while, we let people in, and then we shut it off again. So this is a special thing for the Rowebies that are coming in. Or anyone else who hears this show, you could get in on the Rowebies ticket, right?
Yeah, maybe you've been meaning to do it, so now's the time.
Look, a lot of people have asked me, hey, Vin, when are you going to open it? I might send it out to the email list.
Why don't you do
that? Remind me to ask Chris. I will try to do that. So
you definitely should do that.
That's what I do, right? And we're going to give you guys a little one-on-one today, but not a whole one-on-one. We're going to give you a little what to do here today. But before we do that, I want you guys to know who Anna Vocino is.
Yeah, hi.
For one, Anna is she's the OG. She is the original co-host of the show.
Original producer of the show.
Original producer. We started this show together. This show would not exist without Anna. And I'm not saying that. I'm not blowing smoke up her ass. Anna is...
He doesn't do that, by the way.
I really don't. Anna is a voiceover professional. You've heard her voice several times. You heard her. She was the female voice for Thursday night on NBC.
ABC first for years and then NBC for years.
Yeah.
You've heard now HBO. I'm doing a bunch of HBO promos, which is cool.
So just like Mike...
I narrate murders. I narrate snapped killer couples on Oxygen. So if you watch the murders, you've heard me tell you about the murders.
So you guys are used to hearing Mike Rowe narrate a lot of stuff. She's the female Mike Rowe. she is one of the best voiceover professionals ever. So whenever I wanted to start this podcast 11 years ago, I went to Anna and said, Anna, would you help me do this? And what did you tell me, Anna?
Nope. I said, absolutely not. And by the way, it was 12 years ago. We've been doing this for 12
And by
years.
the way, I think you said no way in hell.
Yeah.
Yeah. As a matter of fact,
I didn't know you as well. We'd only trained together, and I didn't know you as well then. And I didn't realize how persistent you are.
Yeah. I think you said, to be honest, when hell freezes over, I will do a podcast.
Yeah. And then you were like, let me send you my book, Fitness Confidential, which hadn't come out yet, but you had it on a PDF. And I believe 12 years ago, I think I had an iPhone like 3 or 4. Yeah. Like, seriously. And I had it on a PDF and I had to like move it to read the words so they would fit. And I was on a girls' trip. And of course, I can't sleep on a girls' trip. So I'm up reading Vinnie's book at night.
Yeah.
And it was so good and such a page turner. Everybody needs to get Fitness Confidential if you haven't already. That I was like, I guess I'm going to produce and co-host this guy's podcast.
Yeah, she came back.
And then you said, we're doing 3 days a week. And I was like, oh my God, you're nuts. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what Anna and I would do is we would sit in her studio at home at her house.
The garage.
We would bang out 3 every Sunday and put them out Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And that was the original show. Well, Anna is a very busy woman. So at this point, we do the Monday show together. So we call this the original show.
Yeah. This is the OG, the flagship.
Anna, no one else knows this yet. Wait, go on.
I just want to say, in between, I was already blogging recipes, and just my personal experience working with Vinnie, I am, a very normal bodied mom who was working in Hollywood and needed to get weight off of me. And I was diagnosed with celiac. So I would make like muffins and pizzas and cookies and things like that because I was so sad that I couldn't have gluten anymore.
Right.
And what was happening was that I was putting on weight. So by the time that I met Vinnie, he was like, why don't you try NSNG? And it completely not only changed the focus of my health trajectory, but it also changed the focus of what the recipes I was writing, which I then turned into now 3 cookbooks with a 4th on the way. So that's kind of, so I have Vinnie to thank for literally saving my life, but also to change the direction on some things that I was doing.
You're taking this too far, Anna. Now, the other thing is the Wednesday show, since Anna is so busy, and Anna, you don't know this information yet. I'm getting ready to give you new information right now.
Okay.
The show has been hosted by one Miss Gina Grad. It's a starter show. We would try to do it in about 30, 35 minutes, where Gina would bring on a news story or two. She was the news girl on morning radio in LA for a long time, and also the news girl for the Adam Carolla podcast.
Adam Carolla show.
And that's where Gina and I met. And Gina was gracious enough to come in on Wednesdays and pop out a news story or two, and we would do it that way. She's no longer doing that show because Miss Gina has moved on. Yeah, Gina's moved on to the Woody Show. And
amazing. I mean, good for her, but I'm sad that you guys are not.
Yeah, part of her contract, because they have an iHeartRadio contract. The Woody was the number 2 show behind the Howard Stern show. So, folks, what I'm trying to tell you is I sit in incredible company with both Anna Vocino and Gina Grad.
That's incredible. I didn't know that she got that job. That's very exciting.
Yeah. So
what are you going to do? Do you have any announcements for the plans for the Wednesday show?
I'm bringing on, I have 2 of them stacked up already. I've already done 3 shows with Teresa Strasser as a guest host. And then there's another girl who has shown interest in being a guest host on Wednesday. So and then I have a 3rd one. I'll tell you who they are.
You do success stories.
And some of these girls are big deals in Hollywood that's coming on to do these shows. So we do that on Friday. The Friday show has always been luminaries, but lately I've changed it a bit.
Okay.
So we have the luminaries, some of the smartest doctors from around the world comes in on Friday, and people love listening to these doctors. But we had such success with the success stories on the VIP group.
Yeah.
That
you've been putting some of them on the Friday.
And I'm putting them on the Friday show because Inspiration is inspiration. And that's all I'm trying to do here. I'm not trying to figure anything else out except to inspire people to do better in life. That's all we're doing. So we have VIPs, and then we have not VIPs. We have these luminaries, and now we have inspirational stories. Literally, people who weighed 500-600 pounds who have lost 300 pounds come on to that show.
Crazy.
And if that's not inspiring, I don't know what is.
People getting off their medications for chronic metabolic issues.
Some people have come off of as many as 11 medications.
I mean, that's bonkers.
Yeah. Yeah. 11. Can you imagine? And Mike was talking about that on his show. If you guys, if you were listening to that show, that just came out, he said, the number of pregnancies that, from the Rowebies, right?
Yes.
Who have gotten pregnant, who doctors told them, we don't understand. They tried IVF. They tried everything.
Yeah. Your PCOS is making you infertile, whatever the things are. Yeah.
Yeah. So people, after losing weight and getting healthy and eating the right things, were able to get pregnant. And still to this day, no one has named their child Vinnie, which pisses me off. Not one.
No.
And I want it to be a girl, like Vini. That would be like such.
That would be really cute. I feel like that's really on trend. That would be on trend right now. Vinnie, may I propose, because I know that we have an episode coming out next week where I'm cooking and you're answering fitness questions. Why don't we 2 Mondays from now do an NSNG 101 podcast episode? We have if you go and search on Vinnie's site, you can find these, but we like to do them when there's an influx of new folks because it's so valuable. And I think it's a good reminder for everybody of everything.
Yeah, and look, Mike Rowe has done what? 400 measly shows. We've done like 2,600.
Yeah.
So it's kind of
a couple.
Find all the stuff. That's why we do the one-on-ones from time to time. So we will do, when we do the 101s, think about it, freshmen in college, they call all the classes 101, right? So it's going to take us a couple of weeks to do all of the 101s. We usually do what you should eat, and Anna comes in with things you can cook on the 101s. And then
we can talk about shopping, how to shop at the grocery store, things to eat, ideas for quick meals, things like that.
And then we talk about, in other ones, exercise, sometimes aerobic exercise and what you might
will do that down the line.
I give my opinion on popular things like, Peloton bikes and Orange Theory and all these different things that come about. I give my opinions on that. It's not all bad opinions. I tell people what's good and bad about everything so you can make a decision. I talk about things like CrossFit and getting into wanting to run marathons and all these things that people never thought they can do. And yes, we have people who have lost 300 pounds who are doing triathlons now. Scott King being one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not the only one.
No.
Right. So there's all of that you guys will learn on this podcast.
Yeah.
Can you tell the excitement in my voice, Anna? Can you?
I'm so excited. It's so fun. I love it. I love it when we have an influx like this. By the way, I just want you to know, I just wrote your admins. Is that what they're called? Your admins for the Facebook group.
Yeah.
And let them know that this show, the Rowebies show is coming out. So they're aware now. So because I know that they don't like to be taken by surprise when they get overwhelmed with requests to join the groups. Yeah.
And here's the deal. That's the other thing. We have this Facebook group completely free. It's Vinnie Tortorich NSNG group on Facebook.
Yep.
You can't.
And we have the NSNG recipe group.
They have to let you in. Yeah, there's the recipe group. Now, wait, there's more.
But wait, there's more.
Anna Vocino has annavocino.substack.com. Now,
recipes, baby.
I got
meal plans. I got recipes.
They're free. They're fucking free. Now, hang on.
Anna, I have books.
Anna.
I don't want to mislead people and be like, everything's free. I work for free.
She writes books too. We're going to get into that. But before we do that, we need to pay a bill around here. Villa Cappelli olive oil.
Oh.
Villa Cappelli. And I usually run through the Villa Cappelli ad pretty quickly. But I think today we should spell it out a bit.
We should explain a little bit. In fact, I need to write Stephen because here's what I'm trying to do, Vinnie. I'm doing an event at a bookstore in Santa Barbara.
Right.
And it's on October 20th. And I am bringing a jar of sauce. I guess the bookstore said for the first 30 people who sign up to come to the event.
Oh, wow.
And what I'm trying to do is get Villa Cappelli to send me some olive oil so I can give olive oil to people. I know. Isn't that a great idea?
Yeah, it is. And by the way, I personally have to buy Villa Cappelli. They don't send me a can, right? They don't
No, I
send
was
me
going to
that.
have him send little sample bottles if he has any.
Yeah, but look, I need a 3-liter tin right now. I just,
I'm out.
my 3-liter tin into that tin, the little 750 milliliter tin. I just poured my last amount in. I'm going to run out inside of 3 weeks. So I'm going to be ordering Villa Cappelli. Now, you're going, wait a minute. Why are they talking about olive oil? Olive oil is one of the best things you can put in your body. We're both Italians, folks. Anna is from Puglia. My family is from Calabria and Sicily. We run on oil around here. We're diesel engines. We just run on oil.
That's right.
And olive oil is in my body every single day of my life.
That's right.
Every day.
Villa Cappelli, what they do, they're a Pugliese olive oil, and Stephen Crutchfield is the proprietor, and it's named after his late husband, Paul Cappelli. And what happened was back years ago, 2011, I met Paul staying at the property in Italy, and Paul said to me, you know, they're cutting your olive oil in the States with seed oils, and I thought he was full of it. And I was like, oh, he's just trying to sell me on his oil, which was amazing. But I was like, you know, I had my spidey senses tingling.
Mm-hmm.
And then I heard an interview with a guy who wrote a book called Extra Virginity, The Sublime and Scandal of the Olive Oil World by Tom Mueller. And I heard him on like Fresh Air, I think, with Terry Gross talking about it. I was like, oh my God, that's exactly what Paul Cappelli was saying. And I went deep. And then I was like, oh, that's it. Like I can't even buy these grocery store olive oils anymore, knowing that most of them are cut. I know that the UC Davis study, it's not active anymore.
No.
They don't do it anymore. So it's really hard to have like a governing body. So that's why you kind of got to get to know your producers of food. That's one thing you're going to learn through NSNG. You're really going to kind of get to know who makes your food and go deep with it, because you want clean food. And Villa Cappelli is just pure first pressed, cold pressed, extra virgin olive oil. And use the discount code Vinnie, VINNIE. You'll get 10% off your order. Jump in.
Yeah.
Jump in. Just get it. It's really delicious. And if you've only had grocery store brand olive oils, or like, you know, the big ones that you see on every grocery store shelf, and then all of a sudden you order Villa Cappelli, just be surprised. It has flavor. It's going to hit you.
Be shocked. And when, you know, like one of the things you're going to be giving up is store-bought dressings on your salad.
Yeah.
And if you use real olive oil, which is what Villa Cappelli is, that and salt alone will make a salad taste good. So if you add salt and pepper, that makes it even better. If you add Villa Cappelli, salt, pepper, and a little vinegar, it could be white vinegar, it could be balsamic, whatever you want to get.
The ratio is 3-to-1.
Oh my God.
3 parts oil to 1 part vinegar or acid.
Take it from these 2 wops. That's
yes.
what you want to do.
You want it.
We know how to make greens taste good.
Yeah.
Because greens by themselves, that's another thing. And there's so much I want to tell these people today. There's certain people out there in the carnivore community. And by the way, if you're eating carnivore, I agree with your diet. That's a healthy way to eat. But some carnivores are zealots. And the zealots are almost like the vegans are on the vegan side of the street. And I don't have problems with carnivores or vegans. What I do have a problem with is some of the misinformation that comes out because of that. Like some of the carnivores will tell you that, you know, broccoli is trying to kill you.
Right.
Right? It's not. Right? I eat broccoli. I eat cauliflower. I eat asparagus. I eat Brussels sprouts.
Leafy greens.
My wife forces me to have lettuce sometimes, because the way you get me to eat lettuce,
drench it in olive oil.
You put Villa Cappelli in it, you put avocado in it, and you put pine nuts. You scar up the pine nuts a little bit on the grill and drop them in. You put the Villa Cappelli on, you're going to get me eating lettuce.
The lettuce.
Because there's nothing inherently wrong with lettuce other than the fact that it's almost devoid of everything. some vitamin K, but that's about it. It's fiber and
I
water.
think it's fun to crunch it sometimes.
Yeah, people like that crunch. And look, if
I
it's
like the
butter,
crunch.
if it's
I love a
butter,
wedge salad with homemade ranch or blue cheese
yeah,
and bacon and a little onion and a
nice.
little egg. I'll have a wedge salad. I enjoy it. I
You get
enjoy it.
but it's a wedge salad that you do, and you can. And by the way, you can make a Roquefort using creme fraiche, some Roquefort cheese,
Yeah.
and put a little bit of Anna. Folks, we didn't even talk about this yet. We'll mention it at the end of the show. Anna makes these pixie dust.
Spice blends.
Yeah, you
Yes.
put the, you
Pixie
put
dust. Why have we not called it that?
pixie dust, and by the way, you put a little bit of that with the Roquefort, a little bit of the dill. Boom.
Yep.
You hit it with the salt and the pepper, and you mix it with creme fraiche. You got yourself a Roquefort, baby. I don't know
Yeah.
what I'm doing, right? So there are ways to do this stuff and get the thing about eating healthy is that you're going to wonder how you ever ate any kind of processed food or anything from a sack or a bag or anything ever in your life.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard at first.
You're
It's gonna
just
be
going to get
very
into
hard,
it.
but you'll get into it and you'll be eating right. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So, annavicino.com / wait, what is it? Annavicino.
.substack.com. That's where the recipes are. AnnaVicino.com has the meal plan. I got you. I'm not hard to find.
Yeah. She's out there. And you're
But
sitting there
start
going,
with the PDF. Start with the PDF. Get into your NSNG.
oh,
Start
look,
planning some
you
things.
can get the PDF. You can go get the Vinnie Tortorich ebook, or you could just go to the VIP group
Yeah.
and you get the ebook for free.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So now you're going to sit there and go, wait a minute. I'm talking to two Dagos, two Wops, two Guineas over there.
Yeah.
They don't eat Italian food. Oh, no. We eat Italian food. Now, Anna
Yeah.
has 2 books out right now. One is called Eat Happy, because when you eat this way, you're going to be happy. And the other one's called Eat Happy Too. Now, you won't see my NSNG label on those books, and here's why. Even though I tell people to go buy these books.
And you did write the foreword for the second one.
I did. I use these books all the time. I just stay away from her dessert section.
Yeah.
That's all. Anna does not want people to have eating disorders, so she put a dessert section in. And but I use her recipes, especially when my wife goes off to Europe. I'm left to my own devices.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, one time I came up with a dish, and now Anna uses it in her book. I came up with one dish in my life.
I know. Vinnie's protein crime.
Yeah, it's called The Crime, but you call it Bachelor's Chili in your
Bachelor's chili. Because it's it's a run and gun fast chili.
Yeah, and even an idiot like me can make it. But you're sitting there going, well, what about the Italian food?
Yeah.
Folks, right now you can go pre-order Anna Vocino's Eat Happy Italian.
Yeah.
Eat Happy Italian. And when's that book going to be out?
October 8th. It drops October 8th. If you pre-order it though, and you upload your receipt, I'll send you the bonus recipes right away. Because, here's the thing. I bought a cookbook like a couple years ago, and I was like, great, I'm going to get the bonus recipes.
Right.
And the bonus recipes were bullshit. They were like, it was first of all like 3 of them, and they were trash. I was like, oh, these are obviously the recipes that you plucked out that weren't good enough for the book.
Right.
That's not how I operate, Vinnie. Nah.
No.
The bonus recipes are fire. We just I kept writing recipes, and we didn't have time before it went to publish to get them in the book.
How many you figure you get the bonus? How many?
Oh, the bonus is 10. There are 10 bonus recipes, and they're
bonus
fire.
And
they're so good.
Can you give me like one dish of the bonus recipe?
White ragu.
Okay, right there. Right there.
Spare ribs and sausage with red sauce.
Do we have manicotti in the book?
Yeah, and that's in the regular book.
Oof. Right there.
Mm-hmm.
I get that one ahead of time, Anna, so I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for them to send me my books because you get a book because you were so kind and gracious to blurb it.
Yeah, I did blurb it.
Thank you.
Yeah. So what we're saying here today is that you have a lot of options.
A lot of resources.
Sometimes they cost a little money. Sometimes they're free. And if you want more stuff to do, all of my movies are out there on Amazon. Most people get the Amazon Prime on their thing. Some of my movies are on Tubi. If you see them on Tubi, you'll see them for free. I think they're on YouTube or YouTube TV. I think they're free there. Not all of my movies. So I have 4 documentaries. The first one is called Fat, a Documentary. That's the first one that Mike Rowe watched. That's when he fell in love with moi. That's Italian for me. That's Italian, right, Anna? The second one was, now this is something that never happens in the real world, but we have Fat, a Documentary 2. That's right, a documentary with a sequel. So the first movie was the #1 movie Gravitas Ventures ever put out. It's not the #1 documentary that they ever put out. It's the #1 movie. Gravitas is a big platform for putting movies out.
Yeah.
This was their #1 movie of all time, Fat, a Documentary. The sequel did almost as well as the original.
They're both so good. They are must watch. Must watch.
According to my mother, the second one is better than the first. That's my mother, so you got to take that with a grain of salt. Then I put out a documentary called Beyond Impossible, where I went after the fake meat industry to let you guys know what's out there. And if you think I will leave anything alone, my 4th documentary that I talked about on Mike's show just yesterday or whenever you listen to this is called Dirty Keto, where I went after the keto. And look, I'm in the low carb space, but I'm not going to just agree with something just because Dirty Keto talks about the dirty side of keto, of the keto industry. So I will go after my own. I will eat my own, right? So you can watch those documentaries. They're all on Amazon. And you rent them $1.99 or $2.99. Amazon sets the cost of it. I don't know how they work that. But some of them are on free platforms. I know Dirty Keto is not on a free platform yet. It's only on Amazon. So I think that's kind of everything, right, Anna? Did we tell
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of resources. I think your movies are a great place to start. I think the important thing is to realize is that a lot of the new folks, and this happens, I'm talking with my friend Eric, and I'm going to see him tonight for his birthday dinner in a little bit. And he called me a couple weeks ago and he came to the house and he said that he got bad numbers back from his doctor. And his doctor said, you got to cut down on your sugars. And so we've been having a number of conversations and I gave him my cookbooks and, he's like, well, and then I saw him again and he's like, well, I've been really good. I've only been having egg whites and I added in Metamucil and, trying to eat plain chicken. And I was like, okay, that's not what we're doing. We're actually not doing that. And I had to have the conversation around, and Eric's around my age. So he was definitely grew up in the 90s of that 80s and 90s of go low fat. So there's a fat phobia. There's a phobia of eating fat, which is why Vinnie's documentaries, Fat, a Documentary, are so good because it kind of teaches the history of why we have this paradigm that fat's going to be bad for us and that fat causes heart attacks and that fat causes us to get fat, all of which is not true. And so in talking to Eric and having to explain to him, Eric represents all of us about having to be like, wait, are you telling me that if I eat a chicken thigh versus a chicken breast, it's actually going to help me achieve my goals better? Yes. And I told him, eat the egg yolks. And now I got Lauren over here going, Eric, eat the egg yolks. Just eat the egg yolks.
Yeah.
And, but it takes a while.
Anna, we have to explain who Maury is because this is a big thing.
Mama Maury.
My mom's real name is Marie Teresa Giordina Tortorich, but everyone calls her Maury because she lives in the deep South and that's the way they pronounce Marie. Don't ask. Most of you Rowebies are going to think when she comes on, oh, Vinnie is copying Mike Rowe. And Mike and I have had this conversation because my podcast has been on since 2010 or 11, Anna? When it was
12. We started beginning of 2012.
Yeah. So Maria has been coming on from almost the beginning.
Yeah.
And just like Mike's mom, she is, whenever she's on, she's a crowd pleaser.
Oh, absolutely.
Because she does not.
Vinnie, you're famous on the national internet.
Yeah. She is quite the woman. And
She's such a character that you think somebody's doing a character or
right,
doing a voice recorder. They're not. She's
right.
the real deal.
Yeah, and she cannot tell a lie. She's very religious. She prays every day. She prays for my soul every day. She's a Catholic, and she belongs to 2 prayer groups. And she does come on. And I told Mike, I said, Mike, a lot of people think I'm copying you with the mom thing. And Mike said, well, we're both copying both David Letterman
Yeah, I was gonna say
and Howard
Letterman.
Stern because
Yeah.
they have their moms on way back in the day. And he's right about that. So we didn't start the mom thing. I don't know how my mom started coming onto the show, but she started like in the first 40 or 50 episodes,
Yeah.
and she's the most requested guest on the show. But we never tell her when she's going to be on. It's better
No,
to
we have
catch
to
her off
surprise her.
guard.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't want her to start thinking up material. She's better on the fly, right?
And I also love that you always have to tell your dad, turn the TV down, but also don't talk. You're like, don't.
Yeah.
But I love it when your dad is on because your dad sounds like Scatman Crothers and you cannot convince me otherwise.
Yeah, he does sound like
He's
Scatman.
the voice twin of Scatman Crothers.
And, but my dad can't hear anymore. That's why people think I'm being mean to my dad. But if he came on, it wouldn't be a good conversation because he wouldn't be able to understand what I'm saying. Whenever I talk to him, I have to yell on the phone and it would be weird. And he would be yelling into the phone back. So I always say, turn the TV down because it's blaring. So he
Turn the
can
TV down and don't come on the show. Is what
talk
you
on the
say.
show. So I'm not being mean to my dad. I'm
No.
just trying to preserve any semblance of a show when he comes on.
I feel like we did a little good overview.
Yeah, we did an overview of what the show is
Yeah.
all about. We haven't done that in a long time.
And you know what? Next time too, I also want to talk about the Dunkin Donuts Pumpkin Spice Latte having so much sugar in it. Don't eat it, you guys. Don't do it.
Let's
do it.
Finish the show with that. This is what the normal show would be like. Anna would bring up a story and we would discuss it. Go on, Anna.
This is it's just bonkers to me that so hold on, I'm trying to find your text that I sent you. The pumpkin spice latte, and I'm talking about the Dunkin Donuts one because that's what I'm sure the pumpkin spice latte everywhere has a lot of sugar. Here's the deal with pumpkin spice. By the way, you guys know that pumpkin spice is spice mix. It doesn't have pumpkin in it.
Right.
Things can have pumpkin in it, but this pumpkin spice they're talking about it's almost like a chai spice.
I've always wondered why they don't just call it cinnamon spice because it's just putting cinnamon and sugar into pumpkin.
It's amazing branding because everybody's so excited for. And listen, I have a pumpkin marinara. It doesn't have any sugar in it, but it's a very exciting thing for the fall. If you like that flavor profile, it's very exciting. So to be able to get, and then we're getting to fall, we get to wear sweaters and have pumpkin spice lattes. But the problem with the pumpkin spice lattes is that they have a bajillion trillion grams of sugar, and more specifically, the Dunkin Donuts pumpkin spice latte, and I'm imagining this is the large size, by the way.
Right.
It has 186 grams of sugar in one drink, which is the equivalent of enough teaspoons of sugar that it's more than over a dozen. If you could eat over a dozen Dunkin' glazed donuts and still not hit the sugar level that's in that one drink.
Right. And
tell us why that's bad, Vinny.
All right. So the same guy did a similar thing last year, or maybe this came up again from last year, where he shows you in the cup how much sugar is in the cup, which is the scary thing to look at.
Basically, over half of the cup contains sugar.
I
think John Chiroli sent this to me this year.
If you may remember, years ago, I stood outside of a Starbucks in Calabasas, California, and asked people what they were drinking when they came out, and they would always recite the calories, and calories don't mean anything. Calories is just
why is that
of energy, right? And we know that in the universe, energy cannot be made and or expelled. Energy is. So we look at calories, right, where we should be looking at the content and not just a unit of measurement. So people were walking out. I go, oh, what do you have there? They go, oh, I have a Floppuccino. It's a medium. And I would say, do you know how many? And they would go, oh, it's got this many calories. And on that video, I would run a chyron over the top showing the grams of sugar. And it was always between 80 and 100 grams of sugar. on all of these drinks, on all of these
Mhm.
coffee drinks, right? And I explained to these people that not only was Starbucks not a coffee shop, but it was the third largest fast food restaurant in the United States.
I think people have a hard time wrapping their minds
Yeah.
around that. It seems
Look,
like,
think about it.
but really, people are getting their egg dishes, their pastry, their
Right. Which is all
Mhm.
full of sugar. All of it. All of it is full
Right.
of sugar and seed oils. You should not be dining out at Starbucks.
Right.
I mean, I'm not kidding. It's as bad as a Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I misspoke. It's worse than a Taco Bell
Why is it worse?
because at least at Taco Bell, there might be some protein in your food. There is no protein in
It's
any of
true.
this.
Yeah.
It's just sugar.
Yeah.
And Dunkin Donuts is doing the same thing. Did you say 180 grams of sugar? I want to put that in perspective. What did you say?
186 grams of sugar, the equivalent of, I believe, around 48 to 49 teaspoons of sugar, the equivalent of 14 glazed donuts.
Okay, folks, in order to successfully lose weight on a low carb diet, you have to be south of 50 grams of sugar per day. Now, that includes if you have any kind of low glycemic fruit, any kind of
Vegetables.
vegetation, or anything else, some lactose in your milk, what have you, to get you to that 50 grams of sugar per day. Now, most people who are hardcore, once they figure out, oh my God, this makes me feel good and this really works, they will try to stay between 20, 25, or 30 grams of carbs per day.
Okay,
Right?
so let me insert a question here
Mhm.
because my mind goes to, are you saying that people need to count their carb grams?
No. Well, at first they need to be aware.
Okay.
But
I just want to offer that as clarity.
here's the deal. You don't have to be in deep ketosis. You just have to be metabolically flexible to where your body can use blood sugar or ketone bodies to make energy. And when you listen to the show, when we do the 101, I will explain that. So in 2 weeks, when we do
Great.
the 101, you'll hear more about that. But cutting down on total carbohydrates, whether it's complex or simple, meaning like a pasta or a rice or any kind of grain, that would be considered complex. And the simples are sugars, right? You want to cut back on all of these in order to be healthy,
Right.
right? So I'm giving you a little hint right now. If you get the PDF, if you spend the $10 on a PDF, or if you go to VinnieTortorich.com/row, you will get the PDF for free along with your membership into the VIP group. Then you will learn what that is, right? I know I keep pushing that, but if you want to just get
it. Just get it. It answers all the questions.
And folks, this is not just open for Rowebies. You can get into right now because it's open enrollment right now. We're just calling it something different this time because a lot of Rowe people are coming in. And I think that's what Chuck put on the Mike Rowe website.
Great.
So that's why we're doing that. Go right now for everyone else and you new Rowebies and everyone else. Go get Eat Happy Italian. You want to pre-order that. It helps Anna move up the list when that book comes out on October 18th or 13th.
October 8th. It will drop. So if you pre-order it, it should land on your stoop around October 9th if you have Prime, right?
Yeah. Go get that book. I can't wait for my whole book to come in
Me
because
too. It's beautiful, and I'm so excited for it. And the recipes are so good, and so many Italian classics, Italian American classics. And I'm so excited, Vinny. I'm so excited for the book to come out.
well,
And I'm going to say something too, because you and I both talk about how it does happen. We get shadow banned sometimes because what we're saying is not popular. To me, it's
right.
mind blowing because it sounds like you are very much the voice of reason because the diet, you know who should get shadow banned? People who are saying you're going to lose 20 pounds doing 7-minute abs. Those people should be
Right.
shadow banned.
No,
Those
they're
people are
not.
full of shit.
I'm shadow banned because I tell people to eat more meat. And apparently that's not popular around the world.
So
Go
it's
get-
like, I want this book to do well. I want us to, you know what I mean? I want the things to catch some critical mass and get some momentum, you know?
Here's why I'm excited about the book. Anna knows that I buy somewhere between 15 and 20 of her books every year to hand out as gifts at Christmas time because I have family, but then I have people who I'm associated with. And it's like, oh, and you see, I don't
Business
do wine and
gifts,
all that kind of stuff. because
neighbors.
I'm local.
Yeah.
But I buy 15 or 20 of these. I wrap them up and they're ready to go. I just have to stick a little card and put someone's name
Serena
on.
wraps them. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, Serena does wrap them. I can't lie about that. But they're wrapped and ready to go. We go to someone's house. We bring a gift. We bring the book. The problem is that, I brought Eat Happy, and then I had to wait a year or two because I couldn't keep handing to the same people the same book. So then I was able to hand out Eat Happy 2. Now I have Eat Happy Italian. So everyone will have the trilogy.
I'll have a fresh book.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of you being like, here's the book, they're like, yeah, you gave me this already.
Yeah. It's like, no. This is Eat Happy Italian. So now you got to do Eat Happy German, Eat Happy.
Just do all German food, 100 recipes.
Eat Happy
It's
sushi.
mostly bratwurst.
Yeah.
I love bratwurst.
Chinese, Eat Happy Korean. At any rate, folks, we're going to call it here. I'm excited about having everyone on. You know what to do with me. Go watch my new movie, Dirty Keto, on Amazon. If you're at Amazon, click through the banner. It puts a little coal on my fire, gets my train down the track. I'm able to keep this show free for over 11 or 12 years. 12 years.
Over 12
wow.
years.
And it's all because of you. Go check out everything at VinnieTortorich.com/row. And check out everything Anna Vocino's doing. Go get Eat Happy Italian. I should have mentioned Don Coddington. If you ever hear me mention the name Don or Don Coddington, sometimes we call him the billionaire. You will hear this.
It's the billionaire Don Coddington's Friday 5 o'clock blast off.
So it's just a good friend of mine. People accuse me of not having friends. And
So sad.
even my family said, wait, you have a friend? And the answer is yes. I have one friend. His name is Don Coddington. Hang on.
It's the billionaire Don Coddington.
Okay, it's getting
I love that I'm not your friend.
No, you're a woman. You don't count.
Oh, okay.
Men and women can't be friends, remember?
Yeah, okay.
There's one other thing you will hear on this show a lot. We stopped doing it for a while, and it's come back again. So we're going to do it tonight for all of the new people. On behalf of Anna Vocino, my name is Vinnie Tortorich. Put life into living and do it with this one.